Did you know that a mere 1 square meter of space can yield a year's supply of vegetables for one person? That's the magic of urban gardening. With the world growing more urbanized and space becoming a luxury, container gardening emerges as a fascinating solution. This ingenious approach allows you to grow a lush garden in the smallest of spaces, be it a balcony, a terrace, or even a windowsill. So, join us as we delve into the world of container gardening, where every inch of space counts. The first step in container gardening is choosing the right pot. But don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Choosing the right container for your plants can be likened to picking out the perfect home. Like us, plants need a space that fits their unique needs, providing them with room to grow and thrive. The key factors to consider when selecting your containers are size, depth, material, and drainage. Size matters when it comes to container gardening. A pot that's too small can restrict root growth, while one that's too large might leave your plant struggling to absorb moisture efficiently. A good rule of thumb is to match the size of your container to the size of your plant at maturity, giving the roots ample room to grow. Next up is depth. Root vegetables like carrots or potatoes need deep pots, while shallow-rooted plants like lettuce or radishes are perfectly content in shallower containers. It's all about matching the depth of your container to the needs of your plant's root system. Material is another important consideration. Plastic pots are lightweight and cost-effective, but they can overheat in the summer, potentially damaging your plants. Terracotta pots, on the other hand, are breathable and cool, but they can dry out quickly. Metal containers can add a chic industrial vibe to your garden, but remember, they can heat up quickly and may require extra insulation to protect your plants. Finally, let's talk about drainage. Without proper drainage, your plants risk drowning in excess water. Ensure your containers have enough holes to allow water to escape freely. The beauty of container gardening is its flexibility. With the right modifications, almost anything can be turned into a plant container. An old boot, a vintage tin can, even a discarded wheelbarrow, the possibilities are endless. Remember, the right container is crucial for your plant's growth and productivity. So take your time, consider your options, and choose a container that will provide the perfect home for your plant. Now that you have your containers, let's talk about how to maximize your yield in small spaces. First off, consider vertical gardening. This method utilizes not only the ground but also the airspace above, effectively multiplying your gardening area. Climbing plants like beans, peas, and cucumbers, or fruits like strawberries and tomatoes are excellent choices for vertical gardening. You can train these plants to grow upwards using trellises, cages, or stakes, freeing up valuable space below for other crops. Next, let's explore square-foot gardening. This technique is all about efficiency. Picture your container divided into 1-foot squares, each hosting a different type of plant. The key here is to plant densely but not too tightly, allowing each plant to spread without overshadowing its neighbors. This method not only maximizes yield but also helps keep weeds at bay. Choosing high-yield plants can also boost your garden's productivity. Some plants simply produce more harvestable material than others. Consider leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, and Swiss chard, which can be harvested multiple times throughout the season. Zucchini and tomatoes are also high-yield plants, as are herbs like basil and parsley, which can be continuously harvested for fresh flavors in your kitchen. Lastly, don't forget the importance of regular harvesting. This might seem counterintuitive, but the more you harvest, the more your plants will produce. Regularly picking fruits and vegetables encourages plants to continue producing, extending the harvest period and increasing your overall yield. And remember, maximizing yield isn't just about quantity. It's about enjoying a steady stream of fresh, homegrown produce that you've nurtured from seed to harvest. It's about the satisfaction of knowing that every square foot of your garden is working hard to provide you and your loved ones with nutritious, delicious food. With the right techniques, your small space can be a productive green haven. Not all plants are created equal, especially when it comes to container gardening. So, how can you ensure that you're selecting the right plants for your container garden? It's as simple as considering 3 fundamental factors: space, sunlight, and climate. First, let's talk about space. The size of your container is directly proportional to the size of the plant it can accommodate. For instance, small containers are perfect for herbs like basil and mint, while larger containers can host vegetables like tomatoes or even small fruit trees. Remember, your plant needs room to grow both upwards and downwards, so always ensure there's adequate space for the roots. Moving on to sunlight, it's important to remember that different plants have different sunlight needs. Some plants thrive in full sun, while others prefer shade. For instance, if your container garden is located in a sunny spot, consider growing sun-loving plants such as petunias or marigolds. On the other hand, if your garden is in a shady area, ferns or begonias would be a better choice. Lastly, climate plays a crucial role in plant selection. Some plants prefer a cooler environment, while others need a warmer climate to thrive. For example, if you live in a region with a cooler climate, you might want to consider planting spinach or kale. If you live in a warmer region, peppers or tomatoes would be a great choice. Now, if you're just starting out and looking for some beginner-friendly plants that are known for thriving in containers, I've got you covered. Herbs like rosemary, basil, and mint are great options. They're not only easy to grow but also extremely useful in the kitchen. For those with a bit more space, tomatoes and peppers are excellent choices. They require a bit more care, but the payoff is well worth it. In conclusion, selecting suitable plants is an essential step in container gardening. Remember, it's all about understanding the needs of your plants and providing them with the right environment to grow. With the right choice of plants, your container garden will be a thriving oasis of greenery in no time. Choosing the right plants is half the battle won in container gardening. Container plants need a bit more TLC than their ground-planted counterparts. Here's how to keep them happy and healthy. First up, watering. Unlike garden plants, which can draw moisture from deep within the soil, container plants are dependent on you for their water supply. Overwatering or underwatering can lead to unhappy plants. A general rule of thumb is to water when the top inch of soil is dry, but remember, every plant is unique, so get to know your plant's specific needs. Next, let's talk about fertilizing. Container plants can't tap into the Earth's endless supply of nutrients, hence they rely on you to provide them. Most potting soils have some nutrients mixed in, but these get depleted with time. To replenish them, use a good quality, balanced fertilizer. However, don't go overboard. Too much fertilizer can be as harmful as too little. Moving on to pruning. Pruning isn't just about aesthetics. It's about the health of your plant. Pruning helps to remove dead or diseased parts, allowing the plant to focus its energy on new growth. Plus, it can help shape your plant, keeping it from outgrowing its container. Finally, we come to pest control. Pests are a common issue in container gardens. Regularly inspect your plants for signs of pests or disease. If you spot any, act fast. Many organic and chemical solutions are available to help you combat these unwelcome visitors. Prevention is key though. Healthy plants are less susceptible to pests and diseases, so keep them well cared for. So there you have it: watering, fertilizing, pruning, and pest control. 4 essential aspects of plant care that can make or break your container garden. They might seem like a chore at first, but as you get into the rhythm of caring for your plants, you'll find it's all part of the joy of gardening. With proper care, your container garden will flourish, providing you with fresh produce right at your doorstep. So, to recap, container gardening is a fantastic way to maximize your yield in small spaces. It's a game changer, allowing you to transform your limited area into a lush, productive garden. It all starts with choosing the right containers. Remember, size, material, and drainage are key factors. Larger containers hold more soil, retain moisture better, and give more room for your plants to grow. When it comes to maximizing yield in small spaces, it's all about utilizing vertical space and strategic plant placement. Think trellises, hanging baskets, and stackable pots. You can also consider companion planting, where certain plants benefit each other when grown together. Selecting suitable plants is another crucial step. Choose plants that are well suited for container gardening. Some plants, like tomatoes, peppers, and herbs, thrive in containers. Consider the plant's mature size and growth habit before deciding. And let's not forget about ensuring proper plant care. Regular watering, feeding, and sunlight are paramount. But remember, overwatering is just as harmful as underwatering. Keep an eye on your plants, understand their needs, and they'll reward you with a bountiful harvest. Container gardening is not only a practical solution for space constraints, it's also a fulfilling hobby that brings joy and satisfaction. Plus, there's nothing quite like the taste of homegrown food. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more gardening tips and tricks. Happy gardening!